Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Watch out for those who surround you, need no funny kind. You can't see what's on my brain, I live inside my mind. Out of space and out of sight, you need me in my line. Need no face, don't need no phonies, no. Need no snakes, no only homies down for show. Go. Get a book and get the front end, we load up and roll. I got kids, yeah, I got staff, I make a little need more. I sell records, you sell packs, not on my level, no. I'm a pop star, I'm a rock star, I'm a winner. Think I'm not hard, you smoke rock, car waste, man, why you dumb? I'm with airline, we on airlines like we on the run. I'm with take girls run up on me, they done. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my.
I need my money. That's from NBHD Nick Moneyline, and that's Nicki Minaj. You know, I haven't talked about this settlement that happened a few days ago, but I'm going to talk about it today. So we'll get into it. The settlement between Nicki Minaj and Nosey Whole Life. Interesting, it is. Good morning. I am Teddy, and you are listening to MessyMocha. So go ahead, grab your cup, and let's sip this morning mocha up. Let me see. There we go. Shout out to the mob, all my other bears. I call the Grizzlies. Please hit the like on your way in. Fair use commentary, as always. This broadcast is for education, criticism, news reporting, and entertainment purposes only. Shout out to my moderators, Vicky Black and Baby Juju. Please be respectful and mindful of the words that you use in the chat. And follow me, Unwine with Teddy, on all social media. All right, so let's just get the regular news out of the way. I'll spend like maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we'll get into Nosey Whole Live and Nicki Minaj, the settlement, because there's some interesting things and stipulations that were put into the court document, which I do have my own copy of. Of course, I have the initial copies. I have the copies, the settlement copy. I have some of the photographs. That one that I just put up was from the Daily Mail. Speaking of which, let me just see here. Hang on, guys. Let's see if I can pull it up on my other screen. Hope everyone is doing all right on a Tuesday. Yeah, so I have the one Daily Mail. Well, there's many of them. The one that was from September 14, 2022, when Nicki Minaj filed her 75K defamation lawsuit against Nosy Ho. And then there is one from the other day, August the 18th, which is, we'll call it, a, you know, more than a week. Nicki Minaj wins retraction lawsuit over gossip blogger. That's right. Let me just throw that picture up again. I'm like working two different screens here. Hang on a second. Yeah, let's just throw this one up. On the side for a second. So, Nicki Minaj wins retraction lawsuit over gossip blogger who claimed she was a crackhead. Nicki Minaj can take some satisfaction now, knowing that she stopped a gossip blogger known as Nosy Ho. It should be live, aka real name is Marley Green, from spreading rumors about her. The blogger accused the Barbie World singer 41 of being a crackhead back in 2022. According to TMZ, Nicki sued Green 2 years ago after she posted a video saying the Bang Bang singer was shoving all this cocaine up her nose. As part of the settlement, Green has to say that she lied about Nicki being a cocaine user and that she had no evidence to support her false claims. Nosy Ho is also barred from mentioning or saying anything about Nicki, who recently canceled a gig in Romania due to safety concerns and cocaine. Now, these stipulations, let me just finish reading this and then we'll jump back to the real news or whatever. I mean, this is news too, this celebrity. She also is barred from retweeting or resharing posts or comments about the Anaconda singer doing anything illegal or unethical. All right. So, illegal, unethical doesn't mean that she can't still, talk about her post in some way. If Green violates the terms of the settlement, she will have to pay Nicki $50,000 per offense. The statement that Minaj rightly took offense to was part of the video Green uploaded to Nosy Ho Live, allegedly. Thank you, allegedly, but we all know it's true. F, listen, I can't even say allegedly with that because we all know it's true. I'm not saying allegedly on that. Nicki Minaj, and this is, I'm reading from Daily Mail once again, how they are describing this story is a cokehead. Green stated at the time. In the same video, Green dug her claws in even deeper and attacked Minaj's 3-year-old son, whom she shares with husband Kenneth Petty, who is a convicted rapist. Quoting, "Your baby is going to be, the R word," she boldly claimed. That would be Green. Green is also barred from ever mentioning anything about Nicki's son, If she violates that order, it also carries a $50,000 fine per offense. Lots and lots. I have lots and lots of pictures here showing Nicki Minaj on my other screen. But let me just see if I can go through some of these pics. All right. Old School Patricia says, I'm so happy Nicki won. Well, it does look like she won there. She wants to silence Nosy Ho. Well, she did it in court, and I have those. I have those documents. I'll get into. Um, who else is excited? Happy to see this one is at least it's been settled. It has been settled. All right, more. So this is a photo. 10-time Grammy nominee Nicki Minaj pictured on August 28th when she filed that 75,000 defamation lawsuit against celebrity gossip blogger Nosy Ho, live for claiming she's a cokehead. This is a photograph of Nosy Ho live pictured. That was after. And here's more from gossip blogger Nosy Ho reacts to the Nicki Minaj lawsuit. Again, that was in the beginning when that lawsuit was filed. Okay. There's a video about that where you can watch the full video, I think. Well, I see it here in red, but okay. Here's a photograph of a Nosy Ho Live reportedly told her 23,000 social media followers, about what was being said about Nicki Minaj and that cocaine. We've talked about that. Here is when Nosy Ho Live had continued and to discuss that or talk about the accusations of Nicki Minaj being a cokehead. Doubling down. This is a photograph of, it says, Ho defiantly repeated her claims in her vlog on that Monday, in which she called the 39-year-old rapper a cokehead and her husband the R word, you remember, and then talked about the future of the baby. And talked about oh, all right. So this is Nicki Minaj, or a post saying not a string of criminal charges, bail jumping, and bad debt. Okay. You dudes can all thank Marley Green. It's going down. Well, here it says she denied ever using cocaine. All right, so this is from Nicki Minaj Instagram, because I see it here at the bottom. This is also from Nicki Minaj Instagram. That would have been September the 14th, 2022. Says, drop a tear. Thinking if I should dish them out daily, weekly, or maybe even monthly. This is an attorney. Burstein tells us when this case is over, she will no longer be permitted to use the name Nosy Ho Live. Well, we see that was not part of the suit. Nosy Ho Live can keep her name, it appears, and go on with her channel. But there are some stipulations. Then Nicki Minaj's team, Burstein, said, because we will take her trademark from her when she does not have enough money to pay the judgment. Again, there seems to be no dollar judgment that was given currently, but in the future, if Nosy Whole Life should, violate the stipulations of the agreement, there could be whopping uh, dollar amounts, $50,000 for each. Okay. Then he went on to say, anyone else who spreads lies about Nikki will suffer a similar fate. He continues, my marching orders are to aggressively sue anyone with a media or social media following who damages her with, of course, the intention lying. This is from one of Nicki Minaj posts. Now let's hope the people you guys are writing or doing all this dirty work for love you enough to hire top-notch lawyers for you and to pay your bills once I own your blog, your shows, those IG pages y'all tried to protect so bad. Couple artists in the folder too. I'll own your publishing. Okay, that was out in a tweet. This is Nicki Minaj spending time, with family. Okay, and then on the set, of course, everyone knows, Nicki Minaj. Okay, so now let's throw this back up, at least to give you a little bit of a preview. Let me read some questions and comments right now, and then we will continue. You can also email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. Go up. Good morning. It is to Old School Junebug. What is this? Okay, I don't know what Wiley is talking about. Junebug sounds like to me, says Old School, Nosy Ho no longer allowed to speak on Nikki and her hubby negatively. That's correct. I don't think she can speak on the baby at all. But we'll take a look inside the pages. Okay, why don't we do this so that we can keep moving forward on this story? Let's see if I can play the 5 things, just tell you some of the headlines. Of course, there is a debate disagreement, reveals fault lines in the Trump campaign. That's one of the bigger headlines. Zuckerberg, Mark, says that his company, Meta, was pressured to censor COVID-related content addressing the New York Post Hunter Biden story. And he regrets that he didn't, really talk about it more at the time, during the election season. All right. Let's take a listen to the 5 things that we should know, and I'll be right back.
Hello from CNN, I'm Jo Beck, with the 5 things you need to know for Tuesday, August 27th. The 2024 election is already facing some legal issues. Democrats in Georgia have filed a lawsuit to block 2 rules recently passed by the state election board. They allow election officials to carry out a, quote, reasonable inquiry before certifying results, and also allow county election board members to investigate ballot counts. Democrats want a court ruling to make it clear that election superintendents do not have the power to delay the certification of election results, or to refuse to certify them. Meanwhile, in Texas, there's backlash to a series of raids last week connected to an election integrity probe.
It is evident through his patterns of lawsuits, raids, searches, and seizures that he is trying to keep Latinos from voting.
A prominent Latino advocacy group is asking the Justice Department to investigate Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, accusing his office of targeting the homes of Democratic activists and leaders on allegations tied to voter fraud. So far, no charges have been filed as a result of the raids. Last week, Paxton's office said the search warrants were executed as part of what his office described as a probe with a local district attorney dating back to 2022. Neither Paxton's office nor the DA's office responded to CNN's request for comments. The UN is pausing its aid delivery in Gaza over safety concerns after the Israeli military issued new evacuation orders for the Strip on Sunday. That's what a senior UN official tells CNN, and the decision could affect the rollout of a crucial polio vaccination campaign the UN is carrying out there. Health officials in Gaza have recently confirmed the first polio case in Gaza in 25 years and say 640,000 children are at risk of developing the disease. Polio is highly contagious and mainly affects children under the age of 5, targeting the nervous system and causing paralysis or even death in extreme cases. And although over 1.2 million vaccine doses have already arrived in Gaza, the vaccination effort, which is coordinated with the Israeli military, is now facing delays. A worldwide catastrophe is putting the Pacific Islands in danger. That's the warning from UN Chief Antonio Guterres, who says we need to act, quote, before it's too late to tackle the rising sea levels crisis.
If we save the Pacific, we also save ourselves.
We asked CNN's Helen Regan to explain the UN's SOS call.
So, Joe, the UN chief's warning to save our seas comes as 2 new reports say that sea levels in the Southwest Pacific have risen at almost twice the global average over the past 30 years as we continue to burn fossil fuels that heat up the planet. Ocean temperatures there have risen 3 times faster than the global average, and all that extra heat makes the seawater expand and pushes sea levels up even more. That's only going to get worse unless the world drastically cuts emissions. Guterres is also calling on wealthier countries, including the US, to massively increase financing and support for these vulnerable countries.
Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg says the Biden administration pressured his company to censor COVID-19 content back in 2021. Zuckerberg says he regrets not speaking out then about how his team was pressured to remove content, including humor and satire. In a letter to the US House Judiciary Committee, the Meta boss said he would, quote, push back if he experienced something similar again. In July 2021, President Joe Biden said that social media platforms were, quote, killing people with misinformation surrounding the pandemic, later clarifying that people posting disinformation were to blame. Coming up, SpaceX has delayed its daring launch.
They say opposites attract. That's why the Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples. You can each choose what's right for you whenever you like. You like a bed that feels firm but they want soft? Sleep Number does that. You want to sleep cooler while they like to feel warm? Sleep Number does that too. You have to feel it to believe it. Find the bed that's for both of you, only at a Sleep Number store. Sleep better together. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in store. And now, Sleep Number smart beds starting at $999. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
SpaceX's latest attempt to push the cosmic boundaries is set to kick off this week, but it's been delayed by 24 hours. The Polaris Dawn mission is now expected to take off sometime tomorrow morning, starting a nail-biting 5-day trek to orbit the Earth. It'll be crewed by private astronauts, who are hoping to pull off the first commercial spacewalk. SpaceX says the launch was pushed back so it could take a, quote, closer look at a ground-side helium leak on a piece of equipment designed to break away from the rocket during takeoff. That's all for now. Our next episode is at noon Eastern.
Tell me why.
I don't need this no more. I don't need
to stay, finna walk out that door. My mistake, giving you love, girl, Lord. Hope you find someone that can really adore you. Don't worry, I ain't keeping grudges, cause I'm doing better, life cannot be more golden. But honestly, I won't lie, sometimes I ask why I can't get you out my head. Now hard to forget that
I really need to cut you off. You're always trying to lead me on. You're making all these promises, and you'd always quit. You were just another hypocrite. No, I'm can't she got no ahead. No, you thought that I would always stay, but you thought I'd be yours, and she got my mind on nobody. Someone tell me why. Can't really fall from you. I still think about you. Tell me everything, like a manage you. Did you mean all the things you said? You know that he moved on. 관심 없어 어떻게 지내던. I already have a bunch of guys lined up. How'd you lose a baddie like me? You're lost, boy. I'm actually doing just fine. Even when you were not mine, but 가끔씩은 널 잊고 싶은데 그게 잘 안 돼. No, I really need to cut you off. You're always trying to lead me on. You're making all these promises, and you'd always quit. You're just another hypocrite. No, I'm can't she got no ahead. No, you thought that I would always stay, but you thought I'd be yours. You should come on and nobody. Someone tell me why. Can't breathe from you. Still think about you. Tell me everything, like a manage you. Did you mean all the things you said? Someone tell me why. Can't breathe from you. Tell me why, tell me why. Still think about you. Tell me everything, like a manage you. Did you mean all the things you said? Someone tell me why.
Well, the song said, "Tell me why." But you know what I really want to know? I mean, I want to know a lot of things. But given this lawsuit, remember there was supposed to be a lawsuit against Nosey Whole Life in 2021. Tell me why. Tell me why that threat of a lawsuit never went through. Okay, but we're going to deal with this one. We are going to deal with this one. All right. So this is the stipulation of the settlement. Marley Green, aka Carol Green, Nosey Whole, and Nosey Whole Live LLC. This is against her from the United States District Court, Southern District of New York, Onika Tanya Miraj. That's Nicki Minaj. Let's go through it quickly. This is fair use commentary, by the way. We are live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and over on X. Old School wants to know or comments already. Teddy, read if anyone else speaks negatively on Nicki, will they end up in a legal matter as well? So I read from the initial post. Remember, her attorney back in 2022 said that he would also go against or go after. Right now it's Nosey Whole Life. Now I haven't let's go through this stipulation and find out. This is, yes, fair use commentary. Let's find out and see. Let me I'm going to leave it up just like that. How about that? Okay. So you know I'm actually reading from the court papers. So we know who the defendants are. Whereas on September 12th, 2022, defendant Marley Green, aka Nosey Hole, individually and through Nosey Hole Live LLC, collectively, Green made false accusations on Green's Twitter page and other social media that plaintiff Onika Tanya Marah, aka Nicki Minaj or Marah, and collectively with Green, the parties used and or abused cocaine, including that Mirage was a cokehead. And whereas on September 14, 2022, Mirage filed the above caption action, and whereas the parties hereto wish to resolve this action, it is hereby stipulated by and between the parties and their counsel. 1. Dismissal with prejudice. Mirage hereby dismisses this action with prejudice and without cost. 2. Green's apology for her false statements about Mirage. A. Ho acknowledges and admits that A, any and all statements which she has ever made about Mirage using and or abusing cocaine were false. And B, she has never had any evidence whatsoever of Mirage using and or abusing cocaine or any other illegal drug. Here comes 3 limitations on Green's future statements about Mirage. A. Green represents, warrants, and covenants that I, or sub 1, she will never make any statement directly or indirectly which conflicts with the provisions of Section 2 above. That's the talk about what? Cocaine, the apology, abusing cocaine or any other legal substance, false statements about Mirage. Sub 2, she will never state or express her opinion directly or indirectly that Mirage has engaged in any criminal or unethical conduct or otherwise engaged in conduct which reflects poorly on Mirage's integrity. So there goes, let me just, so you can see it. There goes those words. Reflecting on her integrity. Okay. Criminal, any criminal, or unethical conduct. Okay. Ethical. 2, sub 3, she will never retweet, otherwise post on social media, or publicly recount directly or indirectly another person's statement, including but not limited to any statements published in any media outlet of alleged fact or opinion that Mirage has engaged in criminal or unethical conduct or otherwise engaged in conduct which reflects poorly on her integrity. So that's kind of broad. And sub 4, she will never mention directly or indirectly Mirage's husband or child in public, each of whom shall be deemed an express third party beneficiary of this stipulation. So here goes. Here we go. Husband or child. B, subject to the restrictions set forth above in paragraph 3A, Green shall have the right to make statements or express opinions about Mirage's work as an artist. So artistic. Mhm. She can express or make statements. 4, liquidated damages. Green acknowledges that it will be difficult to calculate damages arising from a breach of Section 3 above. Limitations on Green's future statements about Mirage. She therefore agrees that upon the entry of an order by the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York that Mirage has proven by preponderance of evidence that Green breached Section 2, Mirage shall be entitled to a judgment awarding her liquidated damages of $50,000 for each such breach. So that's future. Should she, breach the agreement. 5, mutual releases. Let's hear what the releases are. A, release by Mirage parties. Mirage, on her own behalf and on behalf of her agents, heirs, successors, assigns, attorneys, and any non-public business entity in which she has controlling interest collectively, Mirage parties hereby irrevocably and unconditionally release and discharges each of Green's, her agents, heirs, successors, assigns, attorneys, and any non-public business entity in which she has controlling interests, Green parties, from any and all claims, debts, obligations, liabilities, and causes of action against the Green parties, whether known, unknown, suspected, unsuspected, vested, or contingent, which has ever existed or is existing at any time up to and including the date of the parties' execution of this stipulation. There's a lot in there. So release, notwithstanding the foregoing, nothing contained in this section 5A shall diminish or limit Mirage's rights and obligations under this stipulation. Okay. Let me just check on the comments, emails, and then I'll continue to read. It's not very long, 7 pages, and I'm on almost page 4. Okay. Let's see if there's anything. Yes, Nikki still won at the end. That's pretty big. What a Nosy Whole Life can and cannot speak on. Yeah. Let's check the email real quick to see if there is any question. Okay. Ooh. Hold on. Okay. So something about the content creator. Well, there's different messages, but one about one that was mentioned earlier, a while. I don't know. Allegedly, there's something going on in a Walmart store that might involve a threat. I'm not privy to it, so some people are probably watching on other channels, which, by the way, I'm going to continue with mine. Hang on for a second, just looking at what's going on. Yeah, so let's just hope that whatever is going on with this content creator, which is part of the community, that that it ends in at least no one getting hurt. Let me just leave it at that, okay? Now we are going to continue. Release by Green parties, okay? The Green parties hereby irrevocably and unconditionally release and discharge each of Mirage parties of and from any of and all claims, debts, obligations, liabilities, and causes of action against any of the Mirage parties, whether known, unknown, suspected, unsuspected, vested, or contingent, which has ever existed or is existing at any time up to and including the date of parties' executions of this stipulation. Notwithstanding the foregoing, nothing contained in this section 5B shall diminish or limit Mirage's rights and obligations under the stipulation. 6. Miscellaneous provisions. Let's see what else is in this. A. Mirage represents and warrants that A. She has been represented by Judge Bernstein or Burstein in the negotiation and execution of this stipulation. B. She is satisfied with Mr. Burstein's representation of her. C. Mr. Burstein has answered all of her questions and fully explained her rights and duties under this stipulation. D. She is freely and voluntarily entering into this stipulation with full knowledge and understanding of its meaning and effect, not as the product of any threats, coercion, or undue pressure. B. Green represents and warrants. A. They have been represented by Bobby Samini and Richard Portale, or Pertel, maybe that's it, in the negotiation and execution of this stipulation. B. They are satisfied with Mr. Samini's and Mr. Portel's representation. C. Mr. Samini and Mr. Patel have answered all of their questions and fully explained their rights and duties under this stipulation. D. They are freely and voluntarily entering into this stipulation with full knowledge and understanding of its meaning and effect, and not as the product of any threats, coercion, or undue pressure. C. The stipulation, or this stipulation, hang on, constitutes the entire agreement between the parties and supersedes any prior agreements, oral or written, between them. Neither party has relied upon any promises or representations other than those set forth herein. D. This stipulation may only be modified by a writing executed by both parties. E. The prevailing party in any proceeding to enforce this stipulation shall be entitled to an award of reasonable costs and attorney's fees. F. This stipulation may be executed electronically or in counterpart. 5. G. This court shall retain continuing and exclusive jurisdiction over the enforcement of this stipulation. Onika Tanya Mirage signed it, that I'm looking at. I don't see a signature here yet by Marley Green on the one that I downloaded from this morning. And the judge, let's see, Burstein or Judd, which is the attorney for Miss Mirage, okay, signed it. Samini, I don't see a signature, but I would think, documents like this are forwarded and they get signed. Okay. G, this court shall retain continuing exclusive jurisdiction. Still waiting for signatures on the documents that I can see from both parties. It was so ordered, dated August 2nd, 2024, in the Court of United States District Naomi R. Buchwald. Signatures. There is, it looks like an electronic signature here on August 2nd. Marley Green, email, okay. Then Bobby Samini, signature, electronic, so ordered, and Buchwald. So it's been signed. It has been delivered as I went down. So e-signatures will do. Hang on, guys. Here's something else real quick. So you heard what's in the document. This is when Nicki Minaj harassment lawsuit was dropped by her husband, Kenneth Petty's alleged rape victim. Everyone remembers Jennifer Ho's lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, who has gotten some prominence since he's been taking more of these celebrity cases, by the way. The case against Nicki was voluntarily dismissed. The case against Kenneth Petty is still ongoing. This was dated January the 12th, 2022. Would that also, in the document that we read from, remember it talked about negatively impacting Nicki Minaj? If Nosey Whole Life could continue to speak about that, it seems like the stipulation agreement would encompass that as well. But it's Nosey Whole Life. Did you see in the document? I looked in the document. Well, I'm not a lawyer. Was there anything? Oh, this is the wrong one. This is what I talked about the other day with Miss Tober. I still have that one up. Let's take a look at this one. Back to this one. Just looking. It's between the parties. I want to go back up to what the stipulation is. Nosy Whole Life speaking. In this stipulation, there's 1, 2, 3 with sub, okay? Apology, we got that. Here's the limitations on future. Let me just look again. She will never make any statement directly or indirectly. What does indirectly mean? I meant to stop on that. Is that by someone else? I'm looking at an example of indirect. Indirectly. Let's see if this example will work for me. It's an example. He said that he was very good. It is the opposite of direct statement, which entails quoting a person's word or ideas directly. He said, I am so good. Directly, indirectly. What makes a statement indirect? It seems like turning it around. Here's another example of indirect speech. Amy said it was cold. He said he had been on Facebook since 2010. She said she had been teaching college classes for 2 years. Versus her directly saying, yeah, I think that's what it means. Would anyone argue differently? Okay. Okay, let's see what you are saying here. Old school. Teddy, does it say anything about defamation of character in the stipulation? That was from earlier. Well, yeah, it does. It does. Indirectly means inferring, saying negative comments. Using code word, you say, to speak negatively of a person. There's different definitions. So I would tread lightly. Character. Here in 3. Or even 2, sub 2. She will never state or express her opinion directly or indirectly that Mirage has engaged in any criminal or unethical conduct or otherwise engage in conduct which reflects poorly on Mirage's integrity. There's something there that could be subjective, possibly. 3, sub 3. She will never retweet, otherwise post on social media, rereading, or publicly recount directly or indirectly another person's statement. Wow. Including but not limited to any statements published in any media outlet of alleged fact or opinion that Mirage has engaged in criminal or unethical conduct or otherwise engaged in conduct which reflects poorly on her integrity. That's pretty wide sweeping. If I were Nosy Whole Life, Her attorney, I'm certain, has reviewed the stipulation with her, and I would imagine she has asked her attorney to confirm the meaning of the stipulation so that she isn't outside of the scope. Indirectly, directly, that doesn't include anyone else. Unless she is repeating something that they are saying, but it has to come from her. Subject to the restrictions set forth above in paragraph, Green shall have the right to make statements or express opinions about Mirage as an artist. So now let's just talk about something here. Yeah, I want the on air or the coffee cup. Let's leave this for a second. Is anyone thinking what I'm thinking? Is anyone thinking what I'm thinking? Let me see on email. Okay. Some different things, guys, on email. Let's see. I bet if Nosy Hole speaks badly on Nikki and doesn't pay, says Patricia, she is risking getting removed off of social media. Definitely. If I were her, I would tread lightly. Yeah. Because Nicki Minaj team could certainly, hand that over to YouTube or anyone else where she is. Now, I don't see in the stipulation, unless it's inferred, where, let me take you off here and see if any of you agree with me or not, where there is a requirement that Nicki Minaj videos that where Nosy Hole Live is speaking about her in that way. Freebird Lee says, I know what you're thinking. I know you probably know what I'm thinking. Send me an email at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. You probably are in the process of doing it right now. Okay, I'm going to continue. I don't find, at least yet, my understanding, someone can help me with this one. This is a stipulation against Nosy Hole Live speaking, directly or indirectly. I don't see one where there's a requirement, unless it's an assumed, inferred requirement for Nosy Hole Live to remove any priors, but it probably would be inferred, backdated. It's not true. She has acknowledged it's a lie, it's false. She has apologized to Nicki Minaj. Okay. Good morning, Freebird Lee. She has acknowledged that. Does anyone see it any differently, or that's all encompassing? I'm just trying to think of, again, it was very sweeping in a negative say anything that would affect Nicki Minaj in, her integrity, in a negative way. So does that mean she's gone through and made a big sweep? I mean, wouldn't she have to take time to do all that, look for old videos that she has up? Directly, indirectly. I'm waiting for a response. You can respond. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Oh, okay. So Old School says, I didn't hear you read that in the stipulation of removing old videos of Nosy Hole speaking negative of Nicki. I wonder why wouldn't that have been clear? Because that's what I'm looking for. I was looking for it to be clearly stated. Just like Nicki Minaj attorney Burstein said that he was going to have her account removed, take her trademark away, take her channel removed, take this and take that and take this and take that. You see the kind of conversation this is going into? Jumbo, good morning. It's afternoon. My apology. Says, we started in the morning. I think they would have clearly state that if that is the case. I mean, that would be like the elephant, in my opinion, in the room. The big white elephant in the room. How could it not be addressed directly in a statement? Unless behind the scenes, when the attorneys were negotiating this stipulation, it was like, okay, you want this, you want that, you want that. Okay, you want, but I can leave my videos up. I didn't say that. It was part of it. I'm just talking out loud. Was that discussed? Here's another thing, guys. Mob, my other bears. Would Nosy Hole Live be able to sit down in an interview with someone I know directly, indirectly, and be asked questions? I'm sure she would want to have a lawyer with her who could then speak for her. Okay. To address a question that would come from an audience, from a panel, from emails, any type of contact that this sit down interview might entail before the interview. Remember how Tasha K sat down with that individual, the Kevin Hart? Remember that one? That young lady who it was said, submitted questions to this representative of Tasha K, allegedly this, that. Okay? It talked about what? Drugs, cocaine specifically, any illegal activity anything unethical, okay, and anything that would shine a, these are my words, okay, interpretation, shine a poor light on Nicki Minaj's integrity. What is integrity? Integrity. Something different, I can tell you, but let's go and get, our trusted definition, and let's see if we can get it from a source. Oxford Dictionary. Okay. Integrity. The quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and moral uprightness. Integrity. This is the kind of integrity definition. I don't think it's number 2, the state of being whole and undivided, like, your nation's sovereignty, integrity. But to put it in simple terms, honesty, the quality of being honest, integrity, that no one would doubt that. All right. So then, integrity, so that Nosy Whole Live wouldn't say anything that would lean on that Nicki Minaj isn't truthful about. Now, how about this in the future? What if this is so an example, and I'm going to keep it so narrow. I don't want to. Okay, can we put up fair use commentary? This is just a question. It is for educational purposes only. It is a what if. What if in the future, this is all an example, Nicki Minaj does or says something that it's truthful, that would appear to shine a negative light on her integrity. I did that with so many what ifs and a caveat around it, and it didn't happen. It's in the future, far, far out in the future, as an example. Would Nosy Whole Live then be confined or restricted to speaking about Nicki Minaj if what occurred is a fact and truth? True. If it's true, my first, thought would be, how can you hold anyone if this was a stipulation on speaking about something that is true? I mean, true. Someone could say, for example, the former president, Donald Trump, they can't speak about him in a negative way. Okay? Something that they said about Donald Trump, and this was part of the stipulation, it was found to be a lie. Donald Trump doesn't do any drugs, but you said he did drugs. Okay? Now, if Donald Trump, not if he is, a jury found that he was guilty of 34 felony counts. He's a felon. That is truthful, according to the law. Could you then, in freedom of speech, if it's true, hold that individual to the same restriction, stipulation? Wouldn't that be outside of the scope? So then, in that way, if Nosy Whole Life would learn in the future, very what if, you don't know what's on a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. Something that is true. Would Nosy Whole Life be punished with $50,000 fine if she's speaking on something that is true? Now, I just threw that out there, devil's advocate. You know how people say that. I just throw it out there for discussion, conversation. What's your opinion on that? Yes, integrity is truthful. It is. It's true. Affect someone's truthfulness. Show them in a light where they're shown to be false. Integrity. Remember I talked about integrity, what goes to integrity just the other day? Integrity is a person being truthful. Okay? It goes to integrity is so important. Uh-huh. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't have to mince words. Let's stay focused. Would that release Nosy Whole Life? I'm not so sure. I don't know. I would have to have a legal expert. We have any this would be a question maybe for the lead attorney. That would be a good question. I haven't watched him. Maybe he had something to say. I bet you he did. I bet you he did a whole video on it. I can't be certain because I haven't looked. But knowing him, that would be something certainly he would be willing to address or say something about if it's brought up. Yeah. Old School says at the bottom, it sounds like to me if Nosy Ho says anything negative, whether it's true or not, she's breaking the stipulation. Okay. That's a fair opinion. That's your opinion. I would want to know. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so can I show these? Can I show these posts? Anyone? Oh gosh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me put up a yeah, I know what I'm getting ready to put up. A cover. Have you ever heard that saying? I don't think women, I haven't worn one in a long time. Women wear slips anymore. I bet this generation doesn't even know about slips. They don't even know what I'm talking about. They might think I'm talking about a slip of the tongue. I'm talking about a slip, a garment that a woman would wear beneath her, outer clothing, especially if the clothing was sheer. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. You know what? Let me go and check Nosy Ho Lives. Okay. Oh, I need to go check. I need to check. I need to check something. Check. No. Okay. So for the person who just sent, well, there were a few emails here in the back. If you sent an email with an attachment and you are a trusted, you know who I'm talking to. Okay, can you please just confirm? I'm going to ask, was this today? So I'm going to ask in a separate question, was this today? And if so, can you send me the link? Let me keep on with my comments. Let me check over on Instagram. So we have someone, Catton Mac 2019, who is joining us. We have folks over there on Twitch. Good morning or afternoon to Twitch. Hey, Twitch. Let's see if we have anyone over there on X. My ex listeners, they probably dropped off as soon as they only want to hear about Kamala Harris, Vice President, and former President Donald Trump. That's what they want to hear about. Let me look at my X. Oh, okay. So we did have a few views over on X. I don't know if you're over there now, but thank you. It was probably only during the news. Okay. That's okay. Old School says, nowadays, most dresses I purchase already has a slip sewn inside the dress. Yes. Okay, let me go. Wait a minute. Can I put on some music? One song? How far are we into this? 119. Okay. It's 12:49. I gotta be done by 1:00. Oh, I just remembered. I've got a call and I've got something very important at 1. Plus, y'all know I dropped my car off. Yeah, I've got some things I gotta take care of this afternoon. We can pick this back up. I did read, the document. Maybe we can pick this up again tonight. Let's see. Oh, that laugh. I know, you guys. Wait a minute. Who knows? The whole live hair has really grown out. Her fro is gorgeous. A natural hair, and I don't care. That's it. Let's see. Okay, it did happen. Let's see. 2 hours ago. I'm going to make a copy and I'm going to show you what Nosy Whole Life posted. Oh boy. Now this would be in, it wouldn't be any directly because she just makes a statement. So I understand that who is that individual that was speaking on Nicki Minaj husband, Kenneth Petty. Okay. I'm going to say allegedly it was Conscious TV had created a video about Kenneth Petty, and it was struck in the still of the night. But CTV reached out and touched somebody out in the YouTube land, up way high up, he said, and he could rest easily and go back to sleep because they had, wiped all of that away. Wow, he can reach out and touch somebody instantaneously within an hour. So there are people that can be touched in YouTube land, but let's take a look at this. It's Nosy Whole Life, hashtag surviving the petties at Nosy Whole Life. And she also said, I hope that the anonymous source is living her best life somewhere overseas. With this statement that came at 9:36 a.m. on this same day we are in. I wonder who on earth would leak that video. I wonder who did that and what other information do they have? Oops. You know what? I didn't see the oops. So, she's watching and listening and living. Well, somebody is living their best life. I don't know. Okay. Interesting, though. It's just about 1:00. It's the subliminals for me. Hilarious. Thanks for joining and supporting Unwine with Teddy this morning and into the afternoon for MessyMocha, 100%. Vicky Black says she can't speak, but others can. And let's just tie a nice big bow on this as a question for later. Great commentary. Good day, Teddy and the MOB. Is there somebody out there on God's green earth that might just have all of the videos that have never been published, where Nosy Whole Life is wearing all of these beautiful ensembles, orange, beautiful. I'm talking about not very tastefully, that were worn in the street, tastefully done, that could not crash and not be considered anything, that can't be considered in any way that would be under the guise of pornography or any of that. but would have all. Russia, if you are listening, all of the NICKI Minaj, all of the Kenneth Petty, all. Well, it is time to say goodbye. I wonder if there's anybody out there like that been saving up anything for a rainy day. The lawsuit was against Nosey HeauX Live. Okay. I don't know. It was, I wonder, was there some real funny things out there? Yes. Old School says, the thing about all this, if any other content creator speaks negatively of Nicki, will most likely be sued. You mean their name would go up in lights? You mean their name would go up in lights? And maybe just somebody else will be dragged into it. Oh, I could be so lucky. Maybe the other person could be. You mean this itty bitty, itty teeny little weeny teeny tiny little itty bitty channel could get the attention of Nicki Minaj. Y'all have a good afternoon, okay? Or her attorney. It's unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. Please hit the link on your way out. Biggest bear hugs go out to all the Grizzlies. Join me later tonight, right here for Night Talk. You mean this little bitty, itty bitty Chantel? Oh, Nosey HeauX Live, those 2021 has just begun. Maybe that 2021 wasn't so bad to keep for all the naysayers and the door knockers. All right, so we're just having a little fun with it, guys. Okay, it is 12:59. Yeah, but now it's time to go. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm unwinewithteddy@gmail.com. Teddy. Y'all have a great afternoon, okay?
나연히 내게 보낸 reels 하나둘씩 클릭해보는 너의 생각들 yeah. Look at me baby you and me 하루 종일 혼자라도 not only lonely Come close to me baby just like a dream yeah 따뜻한 너의 품 거울 들어 이렇게 눈 맞추면 You make me go crazy all the little things you do You're my teddy bear 나는 사랑받는 쳐도 좋아 You're my teddy bear 그대로 너의 품 나는 원해 너의 눈 The sweetest 불변한 나에게 어디가 그렇게 좋냐고 물어보면 난 이렇게 대답할래 내게 두 번 아니 세 번 들 때까지 너의 곁에 Come close to me baby just like a dream yeah 이런 남자면 I wanna know everything about you 살짝 놀래 내게 입 맞추면 You make me go crazy all the little things you do You're my teddy bear teddy bear 나는 사랑과 내게 춤을 춰봐 You're my teddy bear teddy bear 뜨거운 너의 품 나는 원해 너의 눈 The sweetest It might be too early to say But I found the love of my life, my life 너도 나와 같은 맘인걸 The way you make me feel is gonna change the way I used to be 잊혀질 환상일까 두려워하는 나의 손을 잡아줄 거란 뜻을 알아 Baby take my hand You're my teddy bear teddy bear 나는 사랑과 내게 쳐줘봐 You're my teddy bear teddy bear 뜨거운 너의 품 나는 원해 너의 눈 The sweet You're my teddy bear 이대로 시간이 멈춘데도 좋아 You're my teddy bear 뜨거운 너의 품 나만 원해 너의 눈